Right this way. Welcome to the Professor's Lounge.
Class is in session, sucker.
Take your seat.
What's up? What's up? This is Get Your Angle Sports, and we are here with the professor, or as AKA Jail Bond Jones. Yeah, we no longer have a heavyweight champ. We're not going to have that matchup between Aspinall. We kind of knew that it was never going to happen, but now it's official. That sucks. What do you think?
Yeah, he ducked him for a whole year. Freaking guy.
Yeah, he really
hanging out with lady boys and drinking and doing some coke, and Aspinall could have had like 2 or 3 fights by now.
Absolutely. So do you think he was just waiting around, not trying to take a loss, or do you think he was purposefully not taking any other fights so that just in case John wanted to step in, he could do it on a minute's notice? What is your guess? I know you don't know. Don't say you don't know.
Well, I know Aspinall wanted to fight him. I think John was kind of just like flexing his muscles and being a douche to Aspinall and the UFC. Kind of like putting his wiener on the table. It's like, yeah, I'm doing this. There's nothing he'll do about it. That's what I think happened. Yeah,
that's what he does, man. He just stalled and stalled, but he's not even old. I don't understand why
he's old. Yeah, he's like 36, 37.
36 is when freaking Cormier started.
Yeah, but he's been fighting since he won the belt when he was like 23.
Well, you'd think he'd have like a good background with his brothers being in professional sports, making all this money. Do you think that is something that would affect him in a good way or a bad way? Because his brothers are a little bit crazy too.
Yeah, the whole Jones family is a little out there.
Oh, freak. Yeah, no, they're into conspiracy and everything like that. And I'm not against that. I like to hear it, but they're legit like all in. You know, if
they party a little too hard, and they're like 6'3", 6'4", super athletic and can kill people.
Exactly.
Like I think John Jones, he's even said like yeah, my brothers, they could beat me up.
Oof. Do you think John would have done good in football?
I think he's too. I wouldn't say he's too skinny, but like he's not that like muscular compared to his brothers, even though he's like a giant.
Exactly. But he could obviously take a person down. He could tackle. He's got the aggressiveness. I don't see why he wouldn't at least be able to make the top college level.
I would assume so. His brother, one of his brothers is a defensive tackle who was a defensive tackle for the Ravens, and the other one was a freaking pass rusher.
Yeah. You would think he'd be able to do you think maybe he's not quick enough? Maybe his speed isn't quite what it should be. He's like the fat guy of the brothers or something, and he has to, because he can put on that weight quickly, but I'm sure they all can.
Yeah, I would assume he's probably not like thicker like the other brothers. That's what I think he's too skinny.
But it's funny because the way that we rank the sports, it's like if John Jones could go to NFL, but could his brothers actually go to UFC and do what he did? Probably not.
I think they could. I think they would probably be like heavyweight champions.
So you think it's easier to transfer from football to UFC as opposed to the opposite? Because there's so many spots in football. There's only a couple spots in UFC that there's like 10. How many spots are there in football? You could play off the bench. You could be a third string defensive tackle and still be in the league.
Well, freaking Brock Lesnar couldn't even like make a roster spot, and then he goes to the UFC. He's like heavyweight champion.
That's a good question. I mean, that's a good point. You would think Brock Lesnar would be able to do that, but you see someone like Michael Jordan going to baseball, right? He wasn't able to do that. He was garbage. And then who else transferred sports? I know the one guy, he went from football to UFC. Greg Randall or something. What's his?
Oh, Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy. Yeah, and he pretty much sucked. The fights that he did win weren't impressive. He barely eked by. And then you got the guy who came from pro wrestling, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, the CM Punk dude.
Exactly. You got the girl, the boxer who went, Alyssa. What's her name? She's got the cornrows, the black girl, Clarissa.
Oh, Clarissa Shields or something like that.
Yeah. She went there and she had some pretty good wins against, mid to top tier opponents. So, but she's an elite boxer, champion boxer.
Yeah, I think she ended up like retiring or something
from UFC or boxing.
No, she never even got to the UFC.
Well, she was made like it to one or something.
Yeah, something like that. One or PFL or some Bellator or something like that.
Yeah, I was looking forward to her because she likes to talk. She would have made things spicy. I don't know if you're too interested in that, but regardless, who's the best? What's his name? The guy who did 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 sit-ups every day, Herschel Walker.
Yeah, he fought in Strike Force a little bit. That dude's just a athletic beast.
Yeah.
Because he was like 40 something, and he was like fighting, and he would like only drink like soup and do this and that. He was like had like a 6-pack and could still run like a 4.4 at like 40 something.
Yeah. Do you think an NFL team would take Brock Lesnar now that is big name? Maybe not now. Maybe let's say like 5 years ago when he built up his name in wrestling.
Well, the freaking I don't think so, because even the Gable, what's his name, Gable Stevenson, yeah. He tried out for the Bills and he didn't make the roster.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm surprised. I would think they would like a name that say, "Oh, I want to see him," but then I guess the NFL kind of has their base, so they don't want distractions. Like they weren't willing to take a Tim Tebow, what happened with Kaepernick and things like that. They don't want distractions. It's not worth it unless you're the top tier, as opposed to the UFC that wants some kind of whisper around the...
Yeah, they want some name value.
That's kind of interesting. I never thought of it that way. You're so smart.
That's why they call me the professor, bro.
Anyways, let's get into this. Let's get into this UFC 317. Are you looking forward to it? Are you excited? I know you were super excited about the last card. How did that live up to your expectations?
That was a snooze fest. I think it was I think there was 12 fights on the card. Yeah. The one in where Aladdin's cousins are, Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
And I think there was 12 fights. 10 of them went to decision. Oof. And it was the third longest fight night in UFC history.
Gosh, dang.
And then the main event was happening. The arena was like half empty because I guess when the main event started, it was past 2 a.m. their time.
That's brutal. For some reason, I thought it was like the morning, but I think it has to be India, I think is the exact time the next day. But I don't know why they didn't do it earlier. No one's going to watch prelims.
Because the fight started at 9 a.m. our time, and the main card started at 12. But even then, it was like Bisping. He was kind of like, he's like, I think it's like 2 something right now in the morning.
Yeah.
When the main event was happening, I was like, what the freak? It's that late? that early, I guess.
I would think there's nothing better to do in Azerbaijan, right? And nobody's got to get home and go to work. You got the UFC there. That should be huge. It's like having the Super Bowl there. I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah, because when the main event happened, you could hear anything that was like going on. It was dead quiet.
You could hear people peeing in the background or something. It was.
I could hear like popcorn. You want some popcorn?
So, what'd you think about the like not the main card, but the second to main card, the co-main event?
What was the co? It was the Fiziev versus
What's-
the Fiziev versus the guy from Peru.
Yes. Let me see.
It was pretty one sided. He Fiziev kind of dominated him. He didn't know what Bracamontes, I think that's his name. Baramontes.
Oh, you know which one I wanted to ask you about was the Clay. What's the guy from Chicago?
Oh, Jamal Hill,
No, the guy from Chicago that wrestles. He went against
Bilal
the
Muhammad.
Oh no, the guy that was on this card. He's a heavyweight and he's been wrestling in the UFC forever. He's kind of boring. He always lays on you. He was the third co-main event, the third one on.
Oh, Curtis Blades.
Curtis Blades, yeah, he fought the Russian guy, and we thought that was going to be nothing, but that went right down to the end. That was pretty
That
close.
freaking Russian guy, dude. He looks super out of shape, dude.
Well, that didn't cause any problems for them because it was Curtis Blades could not take him out.
No, that fight was pretty boring.
It was pretty boring.
Well, Curtis Blades, he said he tore his MCL in the first round.
Oh, got it. Interesting. Of course, but it's hard to say that because they say that every time, no matter what happens, if they lose or they have a bad showing, they just say, "Oh, I hurt my." Who just lost? That said that they tore something. It was on the previous card, but they just came out and said, "Oh, I hurt my leg." I'll have to look it up.
I was definitely off on the Roundtree Jamal Hill fight because I thought Hill was gonna win, and he got pieced up by Roundtree.
He did. Well, the first two rounds, I think it wasn't too bad. I think Hill had something. He was going. It was pretty even, and I would even give the first two rounds to Hill. That's my opinion.
Really? I thought it was like 4-1 Roundtree.
So I'm saying it could have went either way the first two rounds, but I might have given him to Hill because I feel like Hill was keeping his space and he was picking his spots better. But the best thing about this is no one was wrestling, right?
Yeah, it was just a stand-up fight, and then he was just kicking him.
Yeah.
And then he just Jamal Hill, it's like he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, right at the third, it looks like he said, "I'm no longer afraid." And Roundtree just was coming in with some bombs, and he kind of he just took over and did whatever he wanted to do, basically, right?
Yeah, he fought his fight, and I thought Roundtree won pretty easily.
Yeah, there was no fear right there, and I don't know. It was best, like I said, best part about it was that they were both standing, they were both throwing blows, no mercy, and I was expecting more bombs out of Hill. That was disappointing. It's like throw something, and it's not like he couldn't catch him like he was all over. He was more active, but yeah, Hill looked a little slow.
Yeah, he looked super slow. It was just like 1-2, 1-2. It's like, no, dude, you got to do some combos and you got to go forward, bro.
Yeah, throw some haymakers, give it a shot, but it looked like he didn't want to put his chin out there. I don't know. It's like the fifth round, I was expecting, okay, we're going to see some haymakers. We're going to see some, just go at it, BMF style. But he was like, did his corner say, "Hey, you're up, stay safe"?
Well, his corner was like, "Hey, man, we need a finish." And then he was just like, like, oh yeah, I'm just, and then like what kind of like irked me, like when they started saying like because I think one judge had it 50-45,
Yes.
and then the other two had it like 49-46. He kind of gave a face like 50-45. What the heck?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's like, bro, you lost the fight. And then he kind of like confronted like Roundtree after it. He's like, oh, I thought we were gonna fight, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
and then Herb Dean had to like step in and say, all right, guys, let's stop this. It's like, bro, like how delusional were you? You got pieced up. You
We know
lost this
what
fight.
delusion is. Yeah, we know. And I don't blame him. He's got to stay in the, he's got to stay in the mix, and he has to like fight for every piece of credibility. You don't say anything and you just lose that fight and walk away. You go to irrelevance, and then you end up as either you're going to be great and you're going to be a fighter, or you make people hate you and you play the villain, right? I think he should
Yeah.
lean into it. He'll stick around longer if he leans into it. And I think Dana even appreciates when someone plays the villain.
Yeah, the only problem with him is like you lost this fight to Roundtree. I think Yuri knocked him out. Then Pereira knocked him out. It's like
Yeah.
you're like on like a 3 or 4 fight losing streak.
Well, he could still make a main card on a free night, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
not
He's
the main card. I'm talking about the main event. Do you think he could still hit the main event? Because he's
a fight nights. Yeah, he's a former champ.
yeah, that's about where he is right now. If he wants to be at the first fight, do you think he ends up on the first fight of the last fight of a prelims? Is that where he is now? Like a UFC first night of the prelims?
I think he could be a main event of the prelims
He gives me the vibe.
of a pay per view.
Yeah. He gives me the vibe like he'll take any fight. He's got a lot of pride, but he'll take any fight. He's not going to go be an accountant or something.
No, but yeah, his stock is down though.
Yeah,
really down.
exactly. It's like you're young too. How old is he? I mean,
He's like in his 30s, but he tore his Achilles, so that probably probably messed him up.
Young as a human being, it's weird to be like done with your career in this. It's like, what do? You're, let's say 36 and you're done with your career in UFC. It's like, what do you go do? You can't if you don't have many things to do.
Many different.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to go be an accountant. You're not going to go be I don't know. You could start your own business. He could like be a fight coach, a fighting coach. Obviously, what's his specialty? Boxing.
I guess yeah, he's a striker.
Yeah, he's a striker, but is he he's not Taekwondo or something. What does he do? Is it street fighting? I wonder what he did before this. He does throw kicks. Is he a kickboxer or what? What's his
I think he's just from Houston or wherever the freak is from, and he just gets in street fights. That's about it.
They were going to get into another fight right after when you said they were talking. I thought they were going to get into another fight. I was like, Roundtree was not having it. He did not want to talk to him. He didn't want to chill. He wasn't like good fight. He was pissed about the things he was saying, I assume, right?
Yeah, well, even before, like when they do like, oh, the touch gloves, they didn't touch gloves.
But it wasn't so much Hill. Hill was selling the fight. I get it. You're selling the fight. You want people to come watch. I don't think if you're not selling this fight that anybody's going to watch this card. It's in Azerbaijan. It's at a weird time. You got to motivate people to come. And Roundtree was like, he wants to be the champion. And he's not playing any games. He doesn't want to sell a fight. That's the vibe I was getting. What was the vibe you were getting?
Pretty much the same. He's just like a quiet dude.
It's kind of
really
like
say anything.
It's kind of like when Conor was talking to Khabib. You know, he was trying to sell the fight. While Conor got very personal, he's trying to sell the fight. It's like, give me something back, you know? And it's not personal. Even if it is personal, it's not personal. He's trying to make you money. Remember,
Yeah,
Usman couldn't talk when Colby was there. He's like, "Give me something. I'm trying to sell this fight."
yeah.
That's pretty
But
funny.
yeah, that's the recap for that stuff. But this weekend we got a good pay-per-view. We got
Exactly.
International Fight Week.
I know. Let's talk about that. This will be pretty cool. Let's see. So we are starting with the prelims, and we're starting with. By the way, Shadow Man won last week.
Shadow Man.
Yeah, Tafik, whatever his name was. The guy we were talking about last week that had no face. He was the one that won, and he dominated. That guy's a killer. But regardless, you probably don't remember that. Anyways, Chris Irrit versus Jackson McVeigh. Anything you have on this? They're both undefeated. They're both in debut. Who are you taking? I know you know nothing about these two. Who are you taking?
So we got the Chilean versus the United States guy. Shadow Man versus Shadow Man.
Coming from the Shadow Realm. And Shadow Men are undefeated so far. So
Well, they're both making their UFC debut, so
yeah.
I'm going with freaking the 6'4" guy. I'm going with Jackson McVeigh.
Oh
McVeigh.
wow.
I'm going with right Shadow Man. Can you hear me? Hello? Hey. What the freak?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you like super paused.
Yeah, no. Something the government tried to take me down or something. What the freak?
Yeah, but yeah, I'm going with Jackson.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let me get this back up on the screen. Freaking who? Who's in the government?
They're
Donald
trying to
Trump.
cancel us.
Yeah, Donald Trump tried to take me out. He tried to deport me. No, sir. I got my citizenship right here, sir. I should send him over to your place.
I'm good, dude. I got passports.
Yeah, but you don't pay your taxes.
No, I do pay my taxes. Government do not listen to what he just said.
Yeah, you pay your taxes, but you don't get your returns, right?
Well, I got my money technically back, so I'm good.
Tell the government, don't tell me. You're not mad at them anymore?
No, we cool now. I got my
Anyways,
money.
okay. So we're on to Gianta Hunta Diaz versus Alvin Hines. Any take you have on this one?
So I know the Gihante Dinas guy. He's a former kickboxer, so he's a striker.
Okay.
And then Alvin Hines Shadow Man. I don't really know much about him, but I'm gonna go with the striker. I'm gonna go with Gionte Dinas.
Ooh. Is that an all-in pick?
Well, I don't know about Shadow Man.
Well, tell us if it's your real picks because I want to know what you're really going with. I'm keeping track, and I kept track from you last weekend. Yeah, you picked right on, man. So that's 3 UFCs in a row that you worked with a profit. So that's pretty impressive.
Well, I don't know Alvin Hines. I just know Gionte Dinas he's a striker. He's like a Muay Thai guy, kickboxer.
Okay. So is this one you're taking? Are you actually putting your money on this? It's 340 to 270. Is this? I wouldn't take it. Obviously,
Well, I
you're not.
wouldn't take it just because I don't know the other dude.
Exactly. And you did pick, I can't remember his name, but the buff guy from like Kazakhstan versus Mota, and obviously you won that fight. So that was his best bet of the fight, and easily won that fight. So, performance of the night. Anyways, we got Nico Price versus Jacoby Smith. You got 16-8 versus 10-0. So
Well, Nico Price, that guy, he's got a lot of miles under
really,
under his chin. His chin is gone. He's been knocked out so many times. He's gonna bang with you. I don't really know much about the Jacoby Smith guy, but I know Nico Price. He's just there to put on a show, and he's probably gonna get knocked out.
ooh, yeah. So you've seen Nico Price fight a couple times, huh?
I've seen him fight a lot. I think he even got knocked out by Robbie Lawler when Lawler was like retiring.
Okay, yeah. So 35 versus 29, 170. Obviously, 6 feet. Bam, bam, bam. AKA, you got Jacoby out of AKA. That's kind of interesting. And then you got Nico coming out of Fight Me Combats. Have you ever heard of Fight Me Combats?
No, I do not. But he's probably gonna get knocked out.
Okay, so that's a good bet, you would say.
I'm going with Jacoby.
Okay,
What's his name? Jacoby Smith. Whatever.
yeah, Jacoby Smith. I feel like that's a football player too, but yeah, let's go with that. Is that one reminding you? Tell us if that's your legit pick or if that's something that you're just going with. So we got Terrence McKinney.
I would pick that pick.
You would take that pick. Okay, nice. So we're going with.
What
Jacoby
are the odds? I'm assuming the other guy's a big favorite, though.
Yeah, I think I saw 3,500 minus 3,500.
Oh, jeez.
So let me see. It is minus 1,400. So if you're going to take Jacoby Smith, it's got to be on a
parlay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just going to sweeten the ticket. So, anyways, next we have Terrence McKinney versus Vladislav Borchevav.
The one guy, the Borshov, is he trains at Uriah Faber's gym.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Santa Voss or whatever. Each time he wins, he does like a Polish like celebration, like hey.
Oh, okay. What does that mean? Does he like get on the ground and kick his legs, kind of like Russian people?
Yeah, he does that.
Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing that they do. Polish people too. I just thought that was Russian, but that's good to know.
Or Russian or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, he his fights are usually pretty. He usually doesn't finish people, but he usually just stands up and he's got a heck of a chin.
No. Yeah. I figured you're wrong. It's he's Russian. Yeah. So, but yeah, out of Sacramento, but he's Russian. But it makes sense. The dance makes sense. It's Russian, but I'm sure some Polish people do it too. So to all our Russian fans out there, sorry about that. If we offended you, put it in the comments. And then he's fighting out of Orlando, Florida, out of Fusion XL. So Team Alpha Male versus Fusion XL, 33 versus 30. It sounds pretty even. Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with Slavikaz.
Oh, yeah, he's going to bring some presents. And what's your prediction for the finish? Do you think it's going to be go all the way?
It's going to be a decision.
So you're taking the underdog. That's interesting. So a decision on the underdog. Pretty cool. Yeah, looks like everybody's taking McKinney, 80%. I like this. So this is some value on here. And you have a strong feel about this?
Not too well, but I know Slavikaz. He's gonna bang.
Yeah.
He's gonna bang, and it's gonna go to the decision. So he's just got to win two rounds, and then he's got a chin on him.
Oh yeah, No, that's for sure. He can
He got-
he can definitely take it the distance if he can, just keep it close and then steal one of the rounds. So I'm looking at the fight history of Terrence McKinney, and it looks like he beat Hardzonski, Hard Hadzovic.
Hadzovic? I don't
Yeah,
know who the heck that guy is.
yeah, I don't know who that is either. So it looks like Hadzovic, Ribzimovic. He's taken out all the Eastern Europeans, one by one. This is personal.
Yeah, he doesn't like Europeans.
Yeah, Eastern Europeans. So McKinney versus Mary Ott. So he won that. Are these UFC fighters? I don't know if these are UFC fighters or not, but McKinney's here, and let's go to the next fight. So we
got Tracy Cortez.
Tracy Cortez coming in hot. I've seen her all over my YouTube feed. It's like every time you go there, it's like Tracy Cortez doing little skits with other people. She's not even on the main card.
Yeah, well, she was banging Brian Ortega before, and then her last fight, I think it was her last fight, she fought Rose. She was wearing fake eyelashes, and then Rose punched her, and one of her eyelashes came off.
Oh, well, you could tell those eyelashes are not legit. I'm a man, and I can tell. This giant freaking bush windshield wiper, whatever they are. I don't know. Those are way
I'm going with Tracy Cortez.
Really? Is that like a lock? What do you think? So it's 2-1 odds for Tracy Cortez, and obviously, if it's close, the UFC wants her to win. But Vivian looks tough.
She does look tough, but Tracy Cortez is hot for a chick fighter.
Oh yeah. But I mean, what does that mean? She beat Silva in a decision, unanimous decision. I mean, she beat Arroyo. Yeah. Wait, who's this? I'm getting this confused. Look, they got Silva and Silva. She fought 2 Silvas in a row. Then she fought a Maya. Oh man, this Maya girl. Oh,
that's shit up for Maya.
That's brutal. She makes Vivian look like she's hot. Yeah, that's a tough chin. That looks like China from WWE. But regardless, I guess you're going with Tracy Cortez, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going with Tracy Cortez too. I think even without even nothing to do with her looks, I think she's the favorite, easily going to win that. Do you think it goes to decision? Probably, right?
Yeah, it's a chick fight. Yeah, it's gonna go to decision.
I wonder what are the odds that it goes to decision, because in a chick fight, that's probably what, like minus 300, 400?
Yeah, because I think you can bet like over 2.5 rounds or something. And most chick fights go to decision. It's very rare you see a knockout.
Exactly.
Or a submission or whatever it is.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine that it would be anything other than that. But I'm going to check this really quick. I just want to see Vivian and Tracy Cortez over under. So I don't even know what this means. It says plus 3.5, minus 3.5. What does that mean? Oh, over under 2 rounds right here. So it says minus 720.
Over, Jesus. That's so bad.
Exactly. So that makes sense. On a chick fight, you're going to have, I don't think there's anything that's going to be even close to that. Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing's even close to that. It's only the chick fight. Regardless, let's get back to the card. We are looking at Hyder Amil versus Jose Miguel Delgado. And they're fighting from the Philippines and the United States. So both of these guys are Mexican, basically. I think that's what this is. But who are you taking? You like one of these guys? Is one of these guys your favorite? I'd like to see someone out of the Philippines. We haven't seen one of those in a while.
Well, we got a Filipino later in the fight card, Joshua Van, but
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna go with
a real Filipino, because this guy, is he Filipino or Mexican?
he looks Brazilian.
Yeah, what the freak? Hyder Emil.
Hey, he's a fake Filipino, dude. I'm gonna go with the American. I'm gonna go with Jose.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real American name, Jose. That's what I'm talking about. You got 11-0, 9-1. The odds are so pretty even. Jose is the favorite, obviously. Probably that home court advantage. That's the only reason that he's the favorite in my opinion. But next you got Jack Hermanson versus Hermanson versus Gregory Rodriguez. What's your take on this fight?
On this one, I'm gonna go with Jack. I'm gonna go with the veteran. I'm gonna go with Jack Hermanson.
Hermanson. I like how you put the emphasis on Hermanson. You know, I mean that's the way you say it, but my goodness, you're like the media in Los Angeles when they talk about Mexican people. You know.
I guess, but yeah,
Jose
Jack Hermanson.
Rodriguez.
I've seen him fight a bunch of times. I'm going with him.
Yeah. What does he do? How do you think it's going to end?
He's usually in. Well, his nickname is. I think it's the Joker.
Yeah. So it's the Joker versus RoboCop. That's kind of cool. Two people, two characters off of movies and television. That's kind of interesting. The Joker.
I think Jack Hermanson. He beat Joe Piper his last fight, I believe.
Oh. Well, they're both journeymen. That's for sure. So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're gonna bang. Sweden versus Brazil. I don't know. Do you know about anything about RoboCop? Does he bang, or Gregory Rodriguez? What is his fight style?
What does he do? He's kind of just like he's like a jiu-jitsu guy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense coming out of Brazil. What
he got knocked out his last fight. He fought what's his name? Cannonier.
Oh, well, of course, Cannonier, it's likelihood that if you fight him, he's going to knock you out. So that's not very surprising.
But yeah, I'll go with Jack Hermanson, even though he's a little older.
Now is you got to tell me right after, is that one of your locks? Should I write it down or no?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll leave that off. Now we're starting with Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima.
So I don't know much about Felipe Lima, but I know Peyton Talbot, the UFC is really he's like one of their young up and coming prospects. He lost his last time, and they usually always put him on pay-per-views. He fights out of I think it's Reno or Nevada or Las Vegas.
Yeah. And what do you think? Well, I know he's tough and he's built like a tank. He moves forward. But both of these guys are pretty much, they're young and up and coming, and 27 and 26. I think either way the UFC goes, I don't think there's a way that they would be disappointed with either one of these guys winning. It's kind of surprising. You don't see two up and comers going against each other this early in their career. So I'm kind of excited to see this fight. These two are going to be fighting for meat, Yeah.
Well, I know they really like what's his face, Tabit, because he's one of those like Dana White Contender Series people.
Yeah.
and
for sure.
they always like to push those dudes.
Yeah, of course. He wants to be the smart guy. So let's see.
So I'll go with Talbot just because I know they want to push him and they really like him. What are the odds? Oh, it's minus. Oh, he's an underdog plus 150.
So what do you say is the is this a lock?
I just don't know the other guy.
Okay, well then that shan't be a lock. I would assume you're not saying it's a lock, correct?
No, but I would go with Talbot just because I
Okay.
know they like to push him.
So the soft lane. I got
Yeah.
it. Just like the Tracy Cortez path, correct?
Yeah.
So now we got Vanel Dariush versus Renato Money Boy Moicano. What's your take on this one? Both coming off a loss. You got Iran versus Brazil. Iran, will they get bombed again?
And we got Dariush. Well, Dariush and Moicano were gonna fight. It was on that one card in Anaheim, but then Armin pulled out, and then Moicano got the Islam fight.
Yeah, which didn't go so great. So what's your take on this fight? What do you think's going to happen?
I got to go with my boy, and I got to go with Money Moicano. He can't afford to lose.
No. But I don't think either can afford to lose, right? It's going to be
not
a tough
Money
one.
Moicano.
Yeah, well, I think that this matchup is going to be tough for Moicano because Dariush likes to take it to the ground. And
Dariush, he's like overall just like good at everything, you know?
Yeah.
Just a well-rounded fighter.
Well, I don't think he's going to want to bang with Moicano, right?
Probably not. But they're both kind of old.
Yeah, of course, but
they're both in like their late 30s.
I'll tell you something. Dariush is not going to come in distracted where I could see Renato in Las Vegas just going a little bit crazy, not really focusing on it. So I'd be a little worried if I were betting on Moicano. Right now, it's even money, even both ways.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's a pretty even matchup.
I just don't trust Moicano's mindset. He wants to be big, and does he have the talent to match his mouth? I'm not sure about that. So, do you have a lean in this one? You're going Moicano.
I'm going Moicano.
And it's not a heavy. I mean, you're not putting that on your ticket, right?
No. And then this one. Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. Joshua Van, because Brandon Royval was supposed to fight Manel Cap. And then Joshua Van, he fought on the last pay-per-view. Yeah. Joshua Van, he's a future champion.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
But the only problem is I think he's a little too young.
Let's see. Let me see how old he is.
I think he's 23, 24. He fights like 3-4 times a year.
23 out of Texas. Yeah, he's not Filipino. He fights out of Myanmar. But yeah, they're basically both out of United States. They're not going that far. This is pretty close fight on the money, but I'm rooting for Van. I think that it's going to be a tough fight. No one's getting knocked out. It's going to go to decision.
I think it's a little too early for Van.
Oh, he's focused. I see. Oh crap! I'm going to lose you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Oh, okay. My freaking thing said something about space, and last time it said that.
Yeah, this one I'm picking I'm picking Royval. I think it's a little too early for Van.
Yeah. Well, how do you think this fight's going to go? Do you see any knockouts? We got Muay Thai.
Oh, well, it's 125. They're both strikers, and then it's going to be a decision. That's for sure.
Who was Van's loss against? It was Charles Johnson.
Yeah, Charles. Like, I think it was like his second or third fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to be a champ down the road, but it's a little too early for him.
If he wants to be a champ, he can't lose this fight.
Well, he's 20. He's 23, and he's really active. He fought on the last pay-per-view. He took this fight on basically one month notice.
And this is a big step up too.
Well, I think Royval's freaking ranked 1 or 2.
Yeah, Royval just lost, right? Didn't he just lose his fight?
I think he lost to Pantoja or Moreno.
Yeah. He beat Matt Schnell, Matthew Nicholas. Yeah, he lost to Pantoja. That was a fight night or something. I can't remember, but I remember that was a huge one.
Well, that was for the belt.
Yeah, so he's trying to get back. Both of these guys. This is a tough step up for Van.
Wow. Yeah, well, it's like you go from fighting like borderline top 15 person to like, oh, this guy just fought for the belt. He's top 2, top 3.
Yeah, and hungry.
It's like, yeah. I mean, and then Royval knows like, oh, if I lose this, I'm kind of done.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, that if he is a champ, if he is that guy, man, he has a chance to prove it here because he will go way up in the rankings.
Yeah, you go from being ranked 13, 14 to basically 4, top 5, top 2.
Yeah.
And like you're like, you might even get a title shot after this.
Absolutely. You win this. That's a lot on his shoulders. It's a lot on both of these guys' shoulders. They'll be banging. For me, this might be fight of the night.
Yeah, they're gonna strike. I gotta pick Royval. Yeah. It's just I think it's too much for Van too early.
Yeah, I think it's kind of stupid to think that Van, even if you think Van will win, he's got the skill. It's just such a step up. The lights are super bright. Vegas, UFC 317, your third fight. Wow, that's a lot to ask for a 23-year-old.
Yeah. And he's taken the fight off short notice because he fought on the last pay-per-view.
Exactly. And that comes off a loss. So you're kind of questioning yourself in your young career if you can do this or something like that. Your whole life you've been winning, and then you get this loss out of nowhere where you get knocked out. So would you put this on the card?
I'd put Royval.
That's 102, man.
Oh man, they are really respecting Van, but I think it's too much.
I don't think he's proven himself to where he should be even odds with Royval, right?
No.
It's like, how do you get that much respect? It must just be the public. Now, if he wins, great. I will be a little bit surprised. You can hear it in what I'm talking about, but he shouldn't win. He shouldn't win.
No, he shouldn't win. Even though I'm a big Van fan, but it's just too much.
Yeah. So now we got Alexander Pantoja. We got Pantoja versus Kai Kara France. What are you taking in this one?
This one, I'm picking Pantoja.
Oh,
he's gonna make it a boring. He's just gonna outwork you. Kai Kara France, he's good. He'll strike with you, but
yeah,
Pantoja's he's a good champion, man. He just makes the fight ugly, and who's he beat? He's beat freaking Moreno. He beat the Urseg. He beats. I don't know how many titles. He's defended the belt a good amount of times.
Yeah,
he beat Royval.
So we got he beat Perez, he beat Moreno, Royval, Erwig. Okay. Yeah, no, we're at the main event right now, so it's gonna be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
yeah. I got him.
I got the jailer over here. She's trying to tell me that we're on a time notice. She's in here. She's probably trying to say something that's going to get me banned from YouTube. So it's not my fault, YouTube. Better
She's
not
trying to
say
say the
anything.
R word.
She's probably trying to say any word. No, you better watch it, young lady. Stop playing. Don't play. We got 500 subscribers. Hit that like, hit that subscribe so that we can become your one and only stop for sports. And, we don't say those words on the show. Anyways, so you're going with Pantoja. Let's get to the main event. Maybe we should have started with the main event, but gone backwards. But for the main event, this is huge, but I don't think it's going to be a great fight. So we got Ilatopia versus Charles Oliveira. Who do you take?
I got my pick. I'm picking Tilapia.
Oh my gosh. Don't go crazy. Wow, you're going way out there, man. Hey, is there something you want to do you want to think about it? Here, I'll give you 5-6 seconds to think about it. You don't have to rush into anything.
Germany. I don't know. I don't think he's from Germany. I'm pretty sure he's from like
Spain. He's from
where
Spain.
Well, yeah, he lives in Spain, but I think he was born in like I think we're like Marab or somewhere from like that around there. But he's like I don't think he was born in Germany.
No. It says Germany, so obviously you don't know what I'm talking about. But he does kind of look German, though. He looks a little bit German. He has a German father and like a Mexican dad. Wait, I just said a dad and a father. A mother.
Well,
Mexican
maybe he has two dads.
Yeah, that's true. It is 2025. Maybe he has two dads. Nothing wrong with that. So he just beat Justin Gaethje, Oliveira with a rear naked choke.
He freaking knocked out Max Holloway too. Beat Volk.
Yeah, lost to Islam. What a loser. He beat Dariush via ground and pound. Arman Tukshurian, he lost. Michael Chandler, he beat. So that none of that makes you think that this might be a close fight.
I think it's going to be a good fight, but I think Tilapia. I think he's like on another level.
Oh yeah, dude, he looks like he is possessed right now, and it's one of those things where you're thinking, I don't know if he's ever going to lose. He doesn't like Islam. He's going to take you down and he's going to work the ground. But Tilapia looks like he can do anything with anyone.
Well, he's a good striker. He knocks people out. Well, he freaking knocked out freaking Holloway.
Yeah,
and I don't think Holloway has ever been dropped.
Yeah, but I guess he's not that old. You know who would be?
Oh, that's where he's from. He's from Georgia.
Yeah. Well, his nationality is Georgia, but he's from Spain. Yeah, but what I'm just gonna say is that I know Ace would be pissed if he heard me talking so nicely about Tilapia, but he just looks that way right now. Every now and then you get these champs that look like they'll never lose, and you're like, I never thought Adesanya was gonna lose, right?
I thought he was gonna lose, but even then he's been saying like, oh, after this fight, I'm gonna go up to 170. I don't like that. Islam is running from me.
Ooh, dude, he's got a big mouth, and that's what the UFC needs.
Yeah, he talks a lot of smack. Even like before the Max fight, he was like he would do like posts, and he would be like he would talk to him. He would refer to himself in like third person.
Oh yeah, yeah. He knows what he's doing, man. And
He's like,
even when he's being respectful, he's being rude.
yeah, he's like, yes, Ilya Taporia, he is a great champion. He is
Yeah.
the best. It's like, oh man, dude,
Yeah.
you're gonna talk like that. You gotta back it up, and because if you lose, oh
Ooh,
man, it's a freaking disaster. But he doesn't lose.
exactly. Exactly. And it's not that he doesn't lose. He doesn't look like he ever was going to lose. Right?
Yeah, even when he beat Volk, he's like, I'm gonna finish you, and then Zuckerberg's gonna be in your corner.
He hasn't even been tested, you know what I mean? I don't know. But anyways, so are you putting that on the ticket?
I would put it on a ticket. I think. Well, I don't think you get good odds though.
No, you don't, but you get better odds than the other guy you put on the ticket already. You put Jacoby Smith.
What's this minus 420? Jeez,
Yeah, that's
dang,
not
that's a big. It's a pretty big favorite, and he's going up a weight class.
yeah, but are you putting him on the ticket? I'm your ticket.
I'd put him on my ticket. Yes.
Yes, you're putting him on your ticket. Okay, I want to hear it. All right, because don't tell me that you would put him on your ticket. I want to hear what you're doing, and you're putting on a ticket because I know you go to Reno every week and you make a ticket. So this is the one. This is going on your ticket for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm going tilapia easy.
Okay, all right. So I got your parlay: Jacoby Smith, Villa Slavoclaws, Royval, and Torpopia.
Hey,
Those are your picks.
I don't want to go, so I'm not going if you don't hurry up.
Oh, did you hear that?
She said you're not going.
All right, world. I gotta go. I gotta take off. We'll see you next time. Any last words, Mr. Professor?
No, that's about it. And then it's yeah, tomorrow to do the weigh-ins and then Saturday the fights.
Pretty exciting. 317 coming in your face. Heat check. Let's see if Torpopia is that guy. Let's go. All right, man.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
My brother just came.